Hello student, Hemant Sir is here. So in previous video we have understood about the carbon cycle in detail. I hope आपको video lecture बहुत पसंद आया होगा. So today we are going to understand the oxygen cycle of our chapter called energy flow in an ecosystem. So the oxygen cycle is very important because without oxygen there is no life possible on earth. It is as important as carbon. Okay, so that's why we have to understand the oxygen cycle in detail. So as we know, in our atmosphere 21% of the constituent is oxygen. In our atmosphere oxygen present along with all other gases, but oxygen containing 21% and nitrogen is 78%. Okay. So as we can see that most of the oxygen which is released and absorbed within the biosphere. So what is oxygen cycle? The distribution and circulation of the oxygen in biosphere and atmosphere is called as oxygen cycle. Okay, so as we know, oxygen present in our atmosphere about 21%, out of which most of the oxygen is used by the animal for the oxidation of food. In animal, the respiration reaction takes place. This respiration process is nothing but the taking out oxygen rich air inside and breathing out the carbon dioxide gas. This oxygen then undergoes oxidation in cellular respiration, where the oxidation of food takes place, or we can say the oxidation of glucose takes place in presence of oxygen, which releases tremendous amount of energy, and that energy which is used for the functioning of various processes in our body. Okay, so after oxidation of food, carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere, and then this atmospheric carbon dioxide is again used by the plant for the photosynthesis reaction. Then the part of the oxygen is present in lithosphere. Lithosphere means in earth and earth crust. So in lithosphere, oxygen is present in the form of, here we can see that this lithospheric oxygen is present in the form of silicon oxide. In we called it silica. हमारा जो मिट्टी होती है हम उसको सिलिका बोलते हैं, सैंड होता है ना, उसमें सिलिकॉन ऑक्साइड के फॉर्म में ऑक्सीजन प्रेजेंट होती है. देन अदर ऑक्सीजन इज प्रेजेंट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ फेरस ऑक्साइड और अदर मेटेलिक ऑक्साइड. देन कैल्शियम कार्बोनेटेड फॉर्म एंड sulfur dioxide form. So in our nature, oxygen present in combining state also. In our surrounding, oxygen is present in its molecular form. Okay, and this oxygen is being very reactive. That's why it is present in combining state in our earth crust. In hydrosphere, water. See, hydrosphere is nothing but the aquarium which contains mostly water only. So water का formula क्या है? It is H2O. So in H2O here oxygen is also present. Okay. So in hydrosphere along with hydrogen the main constituent is oxygen. That oxygen is used by the aquatic animal. See, along with water molecule, oxygen is also present in dissolved form. That oxygen is absorbed by the aquatic animal for their oxidation of the food. That means they also perform respiration, external as well as internal respiration. Then they releases carbon dioxide, which is again released into the atmosphere. That atmospheric carbon dioxide, which is used again in photosynthesis process by the plant, so that they can use this carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis process to form the food, and again they releases oxygen gas into the atmosphere. Then this oxygen which is present in our lithosphere when the extraction of metal takes place or non-metal takes place during the extraction of metal in metallurgic process where carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide is released into the surrounding. That carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide which is again used by the photosynthesis process by the plant. Okay. After photosynthesis, plant produces the food and releases carbon dioxide gas. This food again contains oxygen which is in the form of C6H12O6. This is the carbohydrate. So oxygen is also present in the form of protein, lipids, fat and other organic and inorganic substances. Okay. So this is nothing but the overall oxygen cycle which is circulated along with the atmosphere as well as in biosphere. Okay. So this circulation and transformation of oxygen from one tropic level to another is called as oxygen cycle. Okay. So student, this diagram is very important that will make you to understand how oxygen is circulated along in biosphere as well as in our surrounding. Okay. So you have to draw the neat and well labeled diagram for the representation of oxygen cycle. Okay. So write down now or note it down. See here it is the heading which is the oxygen cycle. Okay. So as we know, photosynthesis is the process by which green plant absorb water from the soil and carbon dioxide from the surrounding and they convert it into food and they releases oxygen gas. There are many microorganisms, they use oxygen for their respiration process. So on the basis of absorption of oxygen or the development of the microorganism in presence of oxygen or in absence of oxygen, they are of two types. If microorganism they survive in presence of oxygen and they use oxygen for their growth are called as aerobic microorganism. Whereas there are some microorganisms they do not require oxygen. Such microorganisms are called as anaerobic microorganism. Okay. So students, this is all about the oxygen cycle. So first you have to write down or note it down in your textbook or you can take a screenshot. Okay. And make practice once, twice this video so that you will understand the oxygen cycle correctly and precisely. Okay. So write down now. So students, I hope आपको आज का टॉपिक that is oxygen cycle समझ में आ गया होगा. For better understanding, you can again watch this video so that you will understand perfectly this about the oxygen cycle. Okay. So students, आज के लिए इतना ही. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में नेक्स्ट टॉपिक के साथ. Okay. So bye for now.